Spoiler. This contains spoilers for Avatar live action, Avatar show. Kind of, not that much, but like, go watch the other shows first. But preferably the animated ones. It's fine. So I watched the live action Avatar show, like I said I would, because my favorite Star Wars character is in it, and my expectations were not super exceeded. Okay, overall, this isn't to say I had the worst time with the show ever, but at the same time, I had already seen a decent chunk of what it had to offer. That's not to say I had seen everything, as there were a lot of changes when it came to the missions, characters, and to be fair, I feel like I'm going into this at a bit of a unique angle, because I feel like a lot of people who are doing in-depth analyses of this show are massive fans of the original series who know the ins and outs of every single plotline and character. But me? I've seen the show, probably one of the best animated shows I've ever seen, but I watched it like 3 years ago. It's been a while, and so I don't fully remember every plot point and how the show differs from them, but there are some things I remember, and there were some differences I definitely noticed while watching. And also, not to mention, I may not have picked up on every major difference and flaws. This show at times, at least for me, was very difficult to keep my attention, which is never usually a problem for me, so that might speak volumes. The one thing I just could not get over while watching this was the
Can you read this? There's no pictures.
God damn it, this show has Percy Jackson syndrome. Okay, well, it's kind of different. I'd say one of the biggest issues with this show, at least for me, is, well, one, that it never needs to happen and is only fitting into the notion that animation is for kids and shouldn't be taken seriously. And two, that it leaves literally nothing to your imagination. Like, seriously, I genuinely can't think of a single point in this show where a question is brought up and the answer isn't immediately given right after in a flashback. The only time this is used effectively, for me at least, is in episode 6 with Zuko's backstory, and honestly, episode 6 is probably the best of the entire series so far. Apparently this show was trying to appeal to a wider audience, such as Game of Thrones fans? Bro, what? Yeah, well, great fucking job. I'm sure all the older teen to adult audience of Game of Thrones love having everything explained to their faces. Nice one, guys. Yeah, that shit was stupid. You know who else is stupid?
I've no idea what this war has put me through. Me personally. The Fire Nation took
I cannot express how much I despised, like, nearly everything done with Katara in this. There were poorly done story elements, like her duel with this guy, I forget his name, and it had, like, no weight because she had basically no screen time where she was doing anything crazy. Not to mention, I've seen a lot of other people say this, but there was a lack of rage in her character in this. Like, in the original show, when she was put down by this guy, she got fucking mad as shit. And in this, that's not really the case. She's pretty annoyed. She talks to Sokka and Aang about it, and Sokka's like, go kick his ass. And she's like, okay. One other thing that kind of bothered me, though, is, I feel really bad saying this, but personally, I didn't really like the performance of the actress either. It could just be the script, but I don't know. There was something about the performance that was so monotone. Like, I felt like she only showed, like, 2 emotions. Again, I'm sure part of that is definitely the script, but I don't know. Some of the acting just felt very off to me. I feel bad saying this, but I actually think every other actor in this show is really good, aside from some sometimes weird line delivery.
What? What's happening?
Watch out!
Hey!
You are trespassing on sacred ground. Stop! You're making a mistake. He's the Avatar. Ridiculous. There would have been signs if he was the Avatar.
Like, Aang, that's literally Aang, dude. He's the exact same as the show. I love his performance. For a kid actor, he's amazing. Like, Sokka, that's Sokka. Even his head is the same shape. Look at Suki. Oh my, look at Suki. Oh my. I saw people complaining about Azula's casting, but I genuinely could not care less. I was more surprised she was in this at all. Aw, what, the 14-year-old girl wasn't attractive enough for you? Aw, that sucks. Go record more Minecraft Let's Plays Lion Maker. I think her acting was overall really good, and I honestly kind of liked her inclusion, as it builds her up as a more menacing threat earlier on in the show than in the animated series. Oh yeah, wait, this was about Katara. But yeah, overall, I did not like most of the things to do with Katara in this show. At most, I liked the little disc moves she uses throughout the series. I hope the best for her character when Season 2 rolls around, but I don't know, man. Anyways, I want to quickly talk about camera stuff in this. It's pretty good. I talked about Percy Jackson's bad camera work with, like, no color and everything was just, like, pitch black or really, really dark gray. But I like how colorful this show is, especially in episode 4 in Bumi's palace. I thought it was the most colorful scenery in the entire show, where all of the greens bounce right into your eyeballs and all the silverware and stuff. It makes it look like the Emerald City from Wizard of Oz. It was cool. Yeah, overall, that aspect is pretty good. CGI, however, was actually also fine. It kind of switches from, like, movie quality to Marvel movie quality on a dime. Like, this promotional video made it look worse than the original live-action movie, but thankfully it was only a few scenes that looked that bad. But there were definitely some scenes that I thought looked a little, bleh. But despite that, I'd say the most controversial aspect of this entire series is
Water. Earth.
yeah, so like I said before, I won't be able to pinpoint every single change, but I did notice quite a few of them. Like, I think the biggest one I noticed was with Boomy. In the original, his game at the very end of the episode is to let Aang know that it's his long-lost friend, that it's Boomy. But in the live action, he tries to make Aang choose between his own life and himself like it's fucking Saul. What the hell? This owl from Season 2 shows up for some reason. I don't care. I don't even remember this guy's name.
That is one big birdie.
Oh yeah, when does Aang learn not to show emotion when facing off against Ko? By the way, Ko has done really, really well. He's fucking terrifying. I hate him. But again, like I was saying, did they ever say to not show emotion when staring at him? Like, I don't remember hearing that, but I don't know. I thought them showing what happened to the Airbenders was cool at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that that's really stupid. Like, it ruins any surprise that the reveal could have had in favor of dark and grittiness.
Okay, Joe, right foot green.
Again, most of the changes with Katara I don't like. Like, why did she go into the love tunnels with Sokka, bro? What? That actually got me wondering if her and Aang are even gonna fall in love in this at all, because based on how they interact, I don't really get the vibe that it's even gonna happen. Like, Aang in this never calls Katara pretty when he first gets out of the ice or whatever he says. Hell, I don't even know if he compliments her once. He also just seems way more immature, and I know that was always an aspect of his character, but Katara is also portrayed to be a bit older in this, which also diminishes this potential relationship. Dude, could you imagine if she gets with fucking Zuko? Oh my god.
How do you know it's been 3 years? Unless...
You have my notebook!
Oh yeah, then there's also Sokka. Why the hell isn't he sexist? I don't know what it was that made the original creators leave the project early on, but I feel like this may have at least played some part in that decision. Sokka's sexism was kind of like a big theme throughout Season 1. There were actually like a lot of episodes where that was hammered in. But in this, that aspect of Sokka is not really there. In the show, it was there to further his characterization and create a really strong character arc where he matures a ton throughout the series. But in this, now every time he would have said something like that, it's just really awkward. He gives some random bullshit reason. It's like, huh? That's not how it's supposed to be. I don't absolutely hate this live-action remake. I think for what it's based off of and the shortened time span of only 8 episodes, it was probably done the best it could have been, maybe not, I don't know. But at the same time, I kind of do absolutely hate it, like a little bit, because I just kind of dislike these live-action remakes in general. I don't like this idea that animation is a lesser form of storytelling compared to live-action, that's just for kids, and the live-action is for cool adults and shit. This is more kiddie than the original show. With what is produced today, I'm honestly starting to prefer animated stuff over live-action. I don't know, it's just always nicer to look at, it's more fun, it can get more weird and wacky. So yeah, go animate and stuff, it's cool. Fuck the live-action.
You fucking dick!
Wait, fuck. I forgot to talk about him again. What am I doing? He was pretty good. So good. He fucking pulled. I don't remember that happening in the original. I'm surprised I was actually able to take his character and dialogue at all seriously when the only other time I've heard this guy acting was when he was saying lines like these.
I'll give you one last chance, Captain Teva. Explain the nature of this mission, or I will see to it that you are stripped of your rank for resisting a direct order from Fleet Command.
Okay, but you're not gonna believe it.
But yeah, he played Uncle Iroh pretty good. I liked the Leaves from the Vine scene. That was one of the changes that I do think worked for me, or at least it was really cool to actually see it in live action. I like how instead of Uncle Iroh singing Leaves from the Vine, it's played in the background, although I don't know if they're gonna do that scene in Season 2 or not. I know the song was meant to honor the original actor for Uncle Iroh, so I don't know if they're really in their right to have him sing it, but either way, I'm sure it'll probably be fine. Overall, if you want to watch more Avatar content, just go watch the original. I don't know, it's better. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. See ya.
That's kind of cool. Whoa! This dude's riding him! I didn't even know you could do that!